While you've been told that the protests unfolding every day for the last 2 weeks have basically been just peaceful, the media have been obscuring wanton acts of political violence. We found dozens of examples of attacks caught on film, but want to highlight just a few here. First to New York City, where volunteers with the group The Guardian Angels were merely protecting a store from being looted. Then some peaceful protesters stopped by. Curtis Sliwa, founder of the group, says his jaw was fractured when he was hit with a hammer. And another guardian angel says he lost sight in one eye, got his nose broken maybe by that bike. In Portland, Oregon, writers appear to use laser pointers on police before launching projectiles on them. In another Oregon county, police tweeted this picture of items thrown at officers: bricks, bottles, blades, even mortars. And perhaps the most brutal attack I've seen yet from BLM protesters. I have to warn you, it's very graphic. After public outcry, police finally arrested a teenager in that attack, but you heard the folks cheering on this man, beating him. They were yelling Black Lives Matter. Joining us now, Lara Logan, host of Lara Logan Has No Agenda on Fox Nation. Lara, Black Lives Matter, no doubt, has some members who are seeking legitimate, worthwhile change, equal treatment under the law. But much of their movement wants more than that. They want violence. What have you found?
Well, Laura, I have to say, first of all, because I'm not going to be accused of being a racist, that I stand against all forms of racial injustice.
Of course.
But what I also stand against, and I think every decent person and you stands against, is this kind of mob violence that's been going on during the protests. And even more than that, this unbelievable deception by the media to portray these acts of violence as if they're insignificant and drown them out with the headlines about these things being mostly peaceful, especially when you do look at what these groups, Black Lives Matter and the other anarchist groups who are very closely aligned to them. And by the way, not just them, there are think tanks like New America and others. The Brookings Institute, actually, look at the Brookings Institute's page on racial injustice and social justice. It mirrors exactly what Black Lives Matter and others say. And yet the leaders of Black Lives Matter, the co-founders of this group, have no problem with the human rights abuses that the leaders of Venezuela are handing out to their people on a daily basis. That, in fact, is something that they hold up as a country that is a shining example of social justice compared to the U.S. So what I really don't understand is why so many journalists and media organizations are blind to the voices of decent people, both black and white, who are on the streets trying to stop these acts of violence. Decent people, many of them African American, who've lost everything they've owned. And, you know, there's many more examples than you were even able to show tonight. I've been horrified watching it because I know what it's like when a mob turns on you.
Of course you do. Your personal experience with it is gruesome. Laura, this is one of those videos you're referencing, and it's purportedly from Austin, Texas. It shows a group of white protesters surrounding a black officer. Watch. Laura, these are ritual acts of humiliation, this effort to humiliate, and especially, I've noticed in the videos I've seen, especially minorities who don't go along with them. There's special punishment for them. I know you've seen the same.
Yes, it's about shaming any black person who dares to diverge from Black Lives Matter, right? It's shaming anyone who exposes the hypocrisy and also just the dishonesty of the political campaign. All of these slogans, this idea that they're behind, racial justice and social justice, it's all a front for a political agenda in which, I've pointed it out before, but I can't say it enough. It's all over the internet. Many of those sites are blocking me now. But there where they want to abolish the law abolish the police. And I've asked these people, firsthand, what about the black policemen? They say they're fascist pigs too. They also must die. The only good cops are dead cops. Go back to the Weather Underground, and look at their agenda. This is exactly what you're seeing play out. And there are bookstores, fake bookstores in cities like Austin and across this country. Portland is another one, where young people and students at colleges are being taught how to use these tactics by university professors and others in the name of social justice, where these people don't care about justice for anyone. What they're actually trying to do is provoke violence, provoke more incidents where more innocent people are died. The more, young black kids that get hurt and killed out there, the better for them. That's their agenda. They want to provoke and divide. And what's even worse, Laura, are the people we don't see pulling the strings.
And Laura, we'll have you back in the next couple of days, because we should just do a whole hour on just this topic, digging deep, not just the line that they've appropriated. Laura, thanks so much. And coming up, the video, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey wishes